And good morning at 7:04 on this Wednesday, September 17th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome Wednesday, and we're delighted to have you with us. And, of course, even more delighted to be on the air for Cedar Stone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson, Simple Banking, Simply Better. Robert McDonald is with us this morning, live in studio. Good morning.
Good to be with you, Coleman. Good morning.
Nice to see you again. And tell everybody, of course, you are still have the same titles you've had for a while, which is Vice President and Relationship Manager and Manager of the Donaldson office.
That is correct, sir.
So, what's on your mind this morning?
We
could get this out of the way immediately here. We know the Fed's going to meet today, and we are all wondering if their interest rates are going to come down.
Let's just go ahead and knock that out right off the jump here, Coleman. Yes, sir. The Fed met, it's actually a two-day meeting. They're going to wrap up that meeting today, this afternoon. And as we've all heard, we do expect and anticipate a rate cut. How much that will be, we think mostly about 25 basis points. Some experts believe it may be 50, but I think that 25 basis point is probably more in line for this meeting.
Well, you be glad for this to settle down. We've been talking about this and anticipating it to some degree for some time, but it seems that it's kind of come to a head, and today is the day, and it's either probably going to be or not, but most people seem to think there's going to be some rate reduction today.
Most people seem to think that, listening to the radio on the way up here with the national news. I'm pretty confident that this rate will drop a little bit today, and it's a little bit overdue in our opinion as well. This is a good thing. The economy is strong, the consumer confidence remains high, and this just helps households and businesses with borrowing power sustain their spending limits. So this will be a good thing overall for us locally and also for the national economy.
Well, so can you say you'll be more pleased if they do than if they don't?
I believe so, yes. Yeah. It's good for everybody. It's good for us. It's good for our business, and it's also good for our consumers and also our businesses here locally. So it'll be a good thing.
All right. What else is going on?
Well, besides the rate cut, that'll be a big thing today. But no, it's hard to believe, Coleman, that it's almost into the third quarter. I mean, this year has flown by. Of course, we're very heavily involved in the community. With our school system, so a lot of things going on great there in Donaldson, Mount Juliet, and also here in Lebanon. And another successful year for the bank so far. So we're happy, and our customers are, and everybody seems here, at least locally, like I said earlier, they're confident. People are borrowing money and growing their businesses, which is a great thing.
Yeah, and we still have people moving in. We're dealing with growth here. I don't know exactly how that affects the bank, but I want to think you're getting your share of customers, or the possible new customers who.
It's great. It's great for us. It's great for every bank here in our community. It's great for every business. I mean, the growth into Nashville and Wilson County is just tremendous, as you know, and it keeps growing day by day, which is a great thing. We've, of course, seen benefits from that and gain new relationships because of it.
Well, we can probably anticipate with a slight rate reduction by the Fed that maybe loans will be a little bit less interest. The interest come down on loans.
We sure hope so, which is good for everybody. Less on loans. Also, but if you're not borrowing money, that might mean also less on your deposit rates, and so that's how it impacts. The loan rate, which is great for those who are borrowing money, buying homes, renovating their homes. But again, people can also anticipate interest rates on their depository products to decrease as well.
Well, let me ask you this, because you're in the business of lending money. Part of being the branch manager is to your I guess you call it a loan portfolio or whatever. Right. You have your customers. Has what people are borrowing money for, the reason for their loan, has that changed much this year?
It has not, Coleman, especially here locally. I mean, people are still borrowing money. Their businesses are growing. People are still doing renovations on their homes, so the purpose of the loans remains consistent, as it has been for many, many years. People deal with rates and just absorb it, and they know how to. They cut back on certain things. So like businesses will cut back on certain spending in order to borrow money to grow a certain area of their business. But the purpose of the loans remain pretty consistent.
And of course, I mean, but there you borrow money for all kinds of reasons. Business is just one of many. But I'm sure you make a lot of car loans, for example.
A lot of car loans, personal loans, home equity lines of credit. Consumers a very heavy part of our portfolio.
I would guess even people maybe buying a home for the first time come to see you.
Yes, they do. We have a great product, Coleman, that excuse me. It's a 5/1 ARM product that we have a lot of first-time home buyers that does not require the private mortgage insurance, lesser down payment. Something we've had since inception of the bank. It's a very popular product with us, and a lot of first-time home buyers and younger couples are utilizing that product with us.
Boy, time is flying by here, but we gotta save a minute here to talk about the Simply Better free checking.
If we don't do that, Bob will get both of us now. you know that.
Right. Well, you can have a totally free checking account with even some perks that might not be available otherwise.
Yeah, Coleman, that's right. As you know, since inception, almost 22 years now, this checking account is totally free. It comes with a debit card you can use anywhere in the world to withdraw your money. That's why Bob likes to call us a global institution. A lot of times you go to other banks, you take out, you need to withdraw some cash. There's an ATM fee in order to do so if you don't bank there, and we reimburse that. Online banking, mobile banking, pay for your checks for those that still write checks. But it's a great tool to have, and it is totally free with no minimum balance required. And it's a great.
So at least check it out.
Check it out.
I don't think you're going to find a better one.
It'd be hard to find one.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Robert, it's always good to have you. It's
always a pleasure,
coming from Donaldson this morning to be with us.
I always love being with you. It's great.
See you next time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right. Cedar Stone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson, simple banking, simply better. All right, we're about 10 and a half minutes after the hour, and here on this Wednesday, this is normally the Wednesday that we have Mark Hinesley, who is he's the president, CEO of the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce. Well, this is one of those rare times, and when I say rare, I mean rare, that Mark is not with us, but Mark, it probably takes two people to replace him. I'm being a little facetious here, but we do have two people who are here representing the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce. And ladies first, Tracy Pope, you were not here yesterday for the hospital, but you're here today for the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce. Good morning.
I know, isn't it a funny world? Yes, I'm on the board of directors for the Mount Juliet Chamber, and on behalf of Mark Hinesley, myself and my fellow board member Kirk Honeycutt have been sent in his replacement while he is on special assignment, Coleman.
Special assignment. That Judge Tatum's the one came up with that, but that covers a lot of territory too. Special assignment can mean almost anything, I think. Correct. But anyway, we just know he's on special assignment today. But we miss you, Mark. But Kirk Honeycutt, let me say good morning and welcome to you this morning.
Good morning, Coleman. It's good to be here.
You are a member of the Mount Juliet Board of Directors and president of 4-Star Title.
Correct.
What's 4-Star Title?
4-Star Title. We've been open since 2009 in Mount Juliet. We're right in the heart of the city, right across the street from the post office, and we're a commercial and residential real estate title company. So we do real estate closing. So the Fed meeting today affects us too.
Well, I suppose that in the business that you're in here, being a part of the Chamber of Commerce is just almost an automatic thing.
Absolutely. We've been a member of the Chamber since 2012, and then this year I've joined us being on the board, and we're very excited. And we've got our big fundraiser coming up this Tuesday when we've got our annual Chamber Golf event. And that's a big fundraiser for us, the only fundraiser for us.
The only fundraiser, mm-hmm. So the only one has to be a big one, right?
Absolutely.
I think, Tracy, you played a leading role in this in the past, haven't you?
Yes, I've been on the board now. I'm honored to be on the board for 5 years. I cannot believe it. I'm past chairman of the board in 2023. Time really flies. And, I live in Lebanon, but I truly feel like I'm a Mount Juliet community member. Kirk and I are in Mount Juliet Noon Rotary together, serving on the board, just getting to know everyone in the Mount Juliet community. It's really been an honor and just fun to do. We
got to go to a break here in a minute or two, but I'm just thinking, are there any any stories you could share about Mark Hinesley this morning? I mean, since he's not here to defend himself, we could even embarrass him if we wanted to, although that might be hard to do.
I know zero. I mean, he's perfect in everything he does. I don't know anything that could.
Well, Mark would definitely be here if there was a breakfast buffet.
Well, I have found Mark to be so knowledgeable about just about everything that's going on in Mount Juliet.
It really is.
And as we were kidding before we went on the air here this morning, most of the time when he comes, I told you I introduce him and then I listen, and that's kind of the way it is. But he has his finger on the pulse of Mount Juliet probably as well as anybody there. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes, he has been president of the Mount Juliet Chamber for over 25 years now. He is such an advocate for the community of Mount Juliet and then also our county. And like you said, he just knows the ins and outs of businesses, policies, what's going on. And he really helps, as a board of director, helps us to be a better community citizen and representative of the chamber.
And you do have a very vibrant Chamber of Commerce in Mount Juliet, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. And of course, with our town growing the way it is, we've got lots of new businesses, lots of people joining the chamber, and that's our goal, is to really increase that membership.
All right. More with Tracy Pope and Kirk Honeycutt coming up here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. $69.95 up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety check. 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. An accident's got traffic slow. It's mostly rubbernecking delays up through here on 24 westbound at Helmaville Road. Again, that's the last thing we need in this area with all that traffic flow trying to get out of Murfreesboro headed towards Nashville. Again, here through this stretch of Rutherford County on 24 westbound at Helmaville Road, trying to clean up this wreck. Already slowing down 65 southbound right there at Trinity Lane. When you need dependable towing for your car or truck here in Middle Tennessee, call STR Towing and Recovery. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Your Lebanon High football team is back on the field, and we're back in the booth. Join Donald Gann, Joe Gardner, and myself, John Boyce, as the Blue Devils hit the gridiron each week. Lebanon football is brought to you by Bates Ford, Birdine Supply, Fakes and Hooker, Kay Maynard with State Farm Insurance, Kenny Salas and the Salas Realty Group, Lebanon Police Chief Mike Justice, Wilson County Sheriff Robert Bryan, Shannon Speck Electric, Sports World, Rackley Roofing Company, Wilson Bank and Trust, and Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell. This Friday, your Blue Devils will be on the road at Station Camp. Pre-game at 6:30, kickoff at 7.
Everyday Fiestas offers party rentals on everything you need for your special event. Birthdays, weddings, corporate events, they have you covered. Tables, chairs, tents, linens, dance floor, and so much more. Visit their new showroom in Lebanon at 713 East Main Street in the old Ferguson's building. Find them every day at fiestas.com or on Facebook. Everyday Fiestas offers party rentals that can transform your vision into a beautiful reality. Mention this ad to receive 10% off.
So we don't get
Coleman and Company, we thank you for joining us, and we continue here on this Wednesday morning. Again, we have representing Mark Hinesley this morning, Tracy Pope and Kirk Honeycutt, and they are both part of the board of directors of Mount Juliet Chamber. And Kirk, Tracy's telling me you have an interesting story that we want you to share with us.
Well, and this is his first time on the radio.
Yeah.
I mean, this is new to him.
Where are you from?
Yes. Well, I was born a Hoosier, so Mark and I have that in common. Mm-hmm. But I grew up in Iowa, but my dad took a job in Maryville, Tennessee when I was in 4th grade, and we moved to Maryville, Tennessee, and we lived there for 3 years. And then,
for those who might not know, Maryville is fairly close to Knoxville.
Yes.
I don't know what you'd say a suburb, but adjoining county, I believe.
Exactly. And when and then he got moved back to Iowa, but when it was time to pick schools, I did not want to go to an Iowa school because it's very cold there. And I had an older brother that went to Iowa State, and it was very cold when I went to visit. And I told my dad I can't do it, so I came back to Knoxville to school. And I have now been here since I graduated in 1992 from the University of Tennessee, and I have been a Tennessean since, so I consider myself now a Tennessean.
Well, what did you study in college?
It took me 5 years to graduate, Coleman, and my dad told me I needed to finish. And so I went to my advisor, and she said, well, what do you like? I changed my major 6 times. And I said, or what are you good at? And I said, well, I'm good at talking. And she goes, I've got a great degree for you. It's called speech communications. So that's what I have my degree in. The one claim to fame is I have the same degree as Peyton Manning from the University of Tennessee. So the average salary goes way up at a blip in the late 90s, and then it goes right back down.
Well, what brought you here?
Well, I did retail right out of school because I had a liberal arts degree. And so I came back and I opened the Kohl's department store in Donaldson. And then I decided that wasn't really for me. So I got into doing mortgages, and which was a huge change. And but that part brought me into the title industry. And I think one of the reasons that we've had a good run and a successful title company is I've been on the other side, so I kind of know what the mortgage people need, and that's kind of how we've opened and run our title company.
Well, how did the two of you, Tracy, you can either ask another question or comment on what he's already commented on.
Well, in 2019, when Vanderbilt purchased our hospital, we really felt like we could reach the entire county of Wilson County. Previously, Mount Juliet residents just went on into Nashville and Davidson County for their health care. And when Vanderbilt came to Wilson County, we just felt like we had a great opportunity. And so I was sort of selected to be the Mount Juliet representative of the hospital. So I got engaged with our chamber. I went and visited some Rotary civic clubs. And so I joined the Mount Juliet Noon Rotary. That's where I met Kirk. And just getting involved in the Mount Juliet chamber. And so I laugh and say we're kind of golf buddies now. Kirk's a big jokester, and it took me a few years to figure out if he really liked me or not. And so we were on the same golf team one time, and I was like, I know you like me. It's just a joke all the time, right? And so that we're great friends.
How's his golf game?
Fantastic. Yes. He's a scratch golfer and can teach anybody how to golf.
Tell me how her game is.
Tracy's, and I will say, Coleman, I believe that Tracy's played some of her best golf being a cart partner with me on these scrambles.
I can agree.
And the last one we played in, she hit some real bombs off the tee, and lots of smiling at coming off the tee box.
Well, I guess that will kind of lead us into what one of the things we need to talk about. We mentioned this before, but your golf tournament fundraiser is coming up.
Yes, it's this Tuesday, 8 a.m. at Pine Creek Golf Course, shotgun start, and we're so excited for it. It's a lot of work. Mark and his team put in so much effort to get this out, and obviously we said before, it's our one fundraiser, but we're very happy. We're excited. Birthright Title is our sponsor, our
title
sponsor, and so we're excited for that. Breakfast for everybody, lots of fun, and then awards afterwards.
Oh, okay. Do you have any sponsorship openings, or are they all taken? Or
we do, yeah. So we do have some sponsorship openings. We are, like Kirk said, we're very, we want to just thank our title sponsor, Birthright Title. We have several presenting sponsors: Hudson Pillar Insurance, Middle Tennessee Electric, Pinnacle Financial, Reagan Smith Associates, Stewart Title, Wilson Bank and Trust, and Wilson County Convention. And we really want to thank them for their participation. We do have other sponsorships available. We are sold out on our team. Yeah. So, this is our only fundraiser, like Kirk said, for the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce, and we have huge participation, sold out on our teams, but we still have sponsorship opportunities available. You could be a tee box sponsor. You could jump in. We have several breakfast sponsors, lunch sponsors, but we can always add additional sponsors. Kirk, he's been a Mount Juliet resident, community member for many, many years, very involved, past president of our Mount Juliet Noon Rotary. He jumped on the chamber board this year, and he is chairing the golf committee. So kudos to Kirk for jumping on the board and really getting involved and leading everyone in the right direction. action.
The Pine Creek course has its challenges. I've played it a time or two, and I didn't do too well, but then I don't usually do too well.
Yes. There's a little water out there, and in a lot of holes you got to hit it in the right spot.
Seems to me. Do you have a a hole where you get a big prize if you hit a hole in one?
We do. And I believe Susan Lynn runs that hole, the hole in one. She'll be out at that tee box for that.
Well, I'm thinking that I believe it was your tournament, but somebody did get a hole in one time. It could have been another one, but that's a rare thing.
Very rare.
And but it's wonderful for the winner.
Absolutely. And we have longest drive and closest to the hole on those par threes, and lots of great prizes for those people that win that.
All right. Well, if you'd like to get in on part of the sponsorship, go to the Mount Juliet website?
Yes. I think since we're about a week away, probably just call the Mount Juliet Chamber office, talk to some of the staff, and see where we can get you plugged in. We definitely have volunteer opportunities. So if you go to the Mount Juliet website, you can click on the event, and it says volunteer here, and there's a sign up genius. So go to the website and sign up to volunteer, be involved, get to know some people. It's really a fun day, and Mark has dialed in the weather. It's going to be perfect weather. He'll be out there bright and early with his headlamp. We'll be setting up in the dark, and then, like Kirk said, we'll have a shotgun start at 8 a.m.
Right. Well, and the fact that you just have the one fundraiser, you can put so much into that, and you do, but you get so much out of it too. I mean, as far as the monetary benefit, which is why there's other reasons to have it, but really it's a fundraiser, and you're a big fundraiser each year. So
yes,
you go all out for it.
It is absolutely. Yes, it is our big fundraiser for the year, but it's also a great way for us to thank all the people that support the chamber. We're going to be out shaking hands, lots of thank yous, and golf, hopefully weather perfect, and a great time. And Mark makes it great.
Well, Mount Juliet, of course, a growing community, and you have a good membership for the Chamber of Commerce. Well, it's growing too, kind of like the community is, and Mark with his ear to the ground and knowing just about every time a new business comes, they for sure, I would think, have an opportunity to become a chamber member, and that has increased quite a bit, even while the two of you have been, you especially.
And in my role of community affairs with Vanderbilt University Medical Center, I am very fortunate to be involved in several chambers here in Wilson County, Sumner County, Rutherford County, other communities, and every chamber is different. And the Mount Juliet Chamber, we work off of a membership fee, and we are very fortunate to be successful with our diamond investors. There are major investors, which happen to be Rackley Roofing, Remax Exceptional Partners, Prism, Middle Tennessee Electric, TDS, Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, Wilson Bank and Trust, Sunrise Medical, and then we have an amazing community partner with the Wilson County Schools. We have lots of other members, lots of great investors, but we, really appreciate that diamond level investor that invests in the chamber and really believes in the work that we're trying to accomplish.
And you have a monthly luncheon, is that the way
we
it works?
do, and that's today.
It is, yes.
So we have Peggy Simpson with Wilson Books from Birth, and she's going to be our luncheon speaker. That's always another great way to learn more about what's going on in the community and meet new people in the chamber. We have lots of other events throughout the month. We have a monthly Your State Connection with our local legislatures, our representatives, that's Susan Lynn, and then our Senator Mark Pody. They rotate every month, and we're fortunate to get to have visits with them every other month. And then we have Your County Connection, which will be next week. That's with our mayor or a representative from the Wilson County Mayor's office, and he always visits with us. It's the last Wednesday of the month, and all of these events are on the Mount Juliet Chamber calendar. We have lots of ribbon cuttings and other events coming up, and just visit the website or call and get to know what's going on.
Are your meetings held at various places, or do you have one central meeting place?
It's various places. I would say the majority of our events are held at the Mount Juliet Chamber office, but like our monthly luncheon is held at Rutland Senior Living. They're a huge partner for us and support us and really just greet us every month. We sometimes have between 60 and 100 people attend over at Rutland Place Senior Living. We have a community development committee that also puts together a monthly meeting, and that is held off-site as well. And then most of our other meetings are held at the chamber.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
We got about 30 seconds. Anything you want to say in closing this morning, Kurt?
Well, we're excited about our golf tournament coming up. Obviously, we want to say that one more time. And we just love Mount Juliet. It is, we love that city. And of course, it's a great Wilson County as it grows. It's just fantastic.
All right. And any parting word from Mark Conjal, either pro or con?
I don't know. I would say I'm glad Mark doesn't play golf in this tournament. He's not on one of the teams because that probably wouldn't be the best day for him.
But he worked hard. He's been working hard for weeks. This golf
hard.
tournament's going to be amazing, and he and the staff do an amazing job, and it'll be a fun day.
Yes. Tracy and Kirk, thank you so much. Appreciate you being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Tracy Pope, Kirk Honeycutt, Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce, and that's part one of Coleman and Company. More coming up right here on FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways, and it's all brought to you by Absolute Kubota. Write it off the lot, write it off your taxes. Visit Absolute Kubota, take advantage of the Section 179 tax deduction when you buy new Kubota construction equipment, tractors, RTVs, hay tools, or turf products. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's moving a little bit better through this section of Rutherford County where we had that crash earlier on 24 westbound at Elmaville Road. It's just heavy up through there anyway. This time of the morning, it's slow on Vietnam Vets westbound. Approaching Conference Drive, you've got all that traffic building out of Sumner County right now through Hendersonville. A little bit slow on and off this morning, 65 south as you work your way down through Millersville. Hey, when you need dependable towing for your car or truck, make sure you call STR Towing and Recovery right here in Middle Tennessee. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Simple banking, simply better. Since 2004, that's been our motto at Cedar Stone Bank. I'm Bob McDonald. We know that financial decisions can sometimes be complicated, but that doesn't mean solutions have to be. Whether you're buying a new home, renovating your existing home, or buying a car, or maybe you're a business that needs to purchase equipment for the building you operate from, we have all the technology that will allow you to do your banking online or on the telephone, or you can come in one of our beautiful branches and see our great people. With locations in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Nashville, Cedar Stone Bank. Simple banking, simply better.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Cedar City RV, your destination for all things camping. Whether you're looking for travel trailers, fifth wheels, or anything in between, Cedar City RV has you covered. We proudly offer top brands like Forest River, Palomino, Rockwood, Coachman, and more. Plus, expert service after the sale to keep you on the road with confidence. Financing is available, making it easier than ever to start your next adventure. Visit us online at cedarcityrv.com or stop by our location at 1102 Sparta Pike in Lebanon to explore new and previously enjoyed models today.
Partly cloudy skies will continue for today. Highs around 90. Clear tonight, lows around 60, and then mostly sunny for our Thursday. Continued on the hot side, afternoon highs in the lower 90s. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your severe view forecast, I'm Drew Richards.
And we continue here on a Wednesday morning. Welcome to part two of Coleman and Company, and we welcome Mark Noble to talk about Cedar City RV, located at 1102 Sparta Pike, right here in London. Mark, good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
Good to have you with us as always, and you and I are getting to know each other a little bit better each Wednesday when you come here and talk about all that's going on there at 1102 Sparta Pike, right next to the interstate, with all the recreational vehicles, the RVs, the possibilities that people have, and all that you do for people that are looking for help in that area.
Absolutely.
What do you got today?
What I got today is our showroom. We've redone our showroom, so we have more stuff in our showroom than we've ever had. We got a lot of the little parts that you can fix some stuff yourself on your camper, some of the bulbs that, are hard to find, some of the latches, just some of the stuff to keep your camper maintenanced up. I would say that we've probably doubled our inventory in our showroom, which is really exciting. We've got some stuff that's definitely worth checking out if, before you drive somewhere else to get it, you can find it here local now.
Sure.
And we plan on keep growing that, as customer request on certain things. If we see that we have the same item, we plan on start, carrying some more. But we finally focused on that in-store stuff, not just what we have outside.
Well, Mark, I know it's been a while since you started your business here, and of course you moved to this location after being right off the square for a while. It took a while to grow, I guess, but you're probably as big as you've been and are still growing. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, we're definitely still growing. This is a growing year. Our service department's busier than it's ever been. Our sales department is growing this year. We're in a time where the RV industry might still be down, but we're up, which is exciting. We do it. It's because of the customers that we have. That we keep growing, and we appreciate that. We have more campers now. We probably have a bigger used selection and new selection than we've ever had. I got 187 units on the lot today, and typically we keep about 130. But just the demand has made us have to, raise the inventory.
Well, I guess people who come to Cedar City RV and purchase from you or get maintenance from you or all this, they probably go all over the place. But isn't there quite a bit of recreational opportunities within a half day's drive of us?
There's a lot of stuff in a half day's drive. Tennessee's one of the places that you can really just go just about anywhere. Any city's going to have a campground. There's a lot of little ones right on the lake. I know there's stuff in Granville. There's stuff in Gallatin. Some people think, hey, I want to go somewhere. Sometimes just going 20 miles from your house, you can get away and you can get into nature, And right now the weather's turning. It's perfect time for it. This is probably actually our busiest week. We have more campers going out this week, I think, than any week we've had all year, which in September is rare, but I think people are starting to enjoy that the weather's changing. It's getting a little bit cooler,
and even though a little bit cooler, it's still warm enough not to be cold, not to be uncomfortable. You can really enjoy it till the cold weather does come.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and of course you've got just about anything that people need in the way of maintenance or accessories to go with these.
We have the accessories, the maintenance, the slide toppers. If you have a problem with your awning, we can fix the awning. Sometimes you pull out of a campground, you snag the roof a little bit. We also do insurance work. That's important too. You snag your roof, your camper can go downhill quick because of leaks. So get your camper in. We can inspect that for you. We can put roofs on. We got 2 in the bay we're doing now. I think we got 2 coming up right behind that. So we can definitely, there's really nothing that we can't fix unless it's just completely totaled. You know?
Well, you have years of experience. I don't know how many, but you've been around for a while, and you've seen about anything and everything by now, I imagine. So
I've seen just about.
You're great to advise people on what to do with a problem, with a challenge that they have concerning camping.
Absolutely. And sometimes we got to think outside the box because, hey, if your camper is 10 years old, we can't get that part, but we can upgrade it to this or we can change it to that. There's definitely some conversations that can be had, with your unit if we need to fix something that's older. Sometimes people go, well, they can't get that anymore. Well, that's great, but what are we going to do?
Right.
We definitely try to come up with a solution to your problems.
And camping is something for people of all ages. It's not just old people. It's not just young people. It's everybody and everybody in between. Kind of depends on what you like to do.
I found 10 years ago when we started that, it was a little older group that would go camping. But really throughout that 10 years, it's really gravitated to everybody. We get people coming in and they're young and they got kids and they want to go, or we also have people that would just want to live in them. It's they come here to Tennessee, they come to Lebanon, and they don't know where they're buying a house yet, but they're like, I can get a camper and I can make a good decision and find a campground.
And you can certainly help them with that as well.
Absolutely. We also have financing available, so have financing available in the store. So don't feel for anybody that. We have for different credit scores, we can get you financed, so don't be scared to come in, call us. Hey, we have plenty of avenues to help get you financed. I can't guarantee we can get everybody done, but we can get most.
Right, and you are open 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
Yeah. right there, 1102 Sparta Pike, near the interstate, convenient location. Just a world of inventory to take a look at. So what are you waiting for?
Yeah, and we're one of the only family-owned, operated dealers really in Middle Tennessee. There's not many of us left. I think there's like 2 of us in Middle Tennessee. So definitely come check us out. You can see the difference when there is no pressure with my sales staff. If you want to look, you're free just to look at campers. Sometimes people just want to look to see what's new.
Right. So. Well, thanks so much for being with us today. One more thing, check them out at cedarcityrv.com, the website, cedarcityrv.com. And we'll see you next Wednesday.
Thank you, Coleman.
All right. That's Mark Noble, and that's it for Cedar City RV. And at about 21 minutes before the hour, I want to welcome Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Coleman.
Nice to see you today. And we've always got a lot to talk about. Mike Jennings was here yesterday. You're here today. Two of my good friends who are UT fans who haven't been too excited since the ball game Saturday, but you win some and lose some.
You do, and we definitely lost that one. So while we were there in Knoxville watching a loss, you were watching Vanderbilt dominate South Carolina. So.
Yeah, I tell you what, there was one little downside in that ball game. I hate to see that South Carolina quarterback get hurt. I don't think that, seeing the play, I didn't think it was intentional. In fact, I even questioned the call at first, but I think he did touch his helmet, and you're not supposed to do that. And of course, he was they called targeting, and I think he gets dismissed from the game. Yeah. But and that might have had enough. I don't know what that did to the South Carolina team, but it seemed like they weren't the same after that.
Well, obviously, I didn't see it. I know that it was pretty close, and then all of a sudden, Vanderbilt just took off. At our game, it was loud. Everyone was excited. It was, it was a tight game all the way through, and in the end, I think Georgia pulled it out. So,
from your perspective, the only thing wrong was final outcome.
It was, yeah. Everything else went pretty good, but until the important part. But I will say this though, that I do think Tennessee's pretty good, and I don't mind seeing them play throughout the rest of the year. I think they'll go out and beat some people.
Well, I'm honestly surprised that they didn't move up a notch or two in the ratings. I think they went down, the 19th or 20th or something?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
But I thought the way they played, and I mean, Georgia's supposed to be pretty good. I think they are good. But Tennessee's pretty good, too.
I think both teams are good, really. And it came down to a few plays, not just the kick. There's a few other plays that it came down to as well. But there's a lot of season left, and they have a lot of other good teams that have to play, so we'll see what happens.
All right, we had a city council meeting last night.
We did.
Any big news out of it?
There are a few things. It was a short meeting, just a few items on it, but some important ones I think people like to hear about. So one of the things, Coleman, that we've talked about a few times out here is that we need LPD needs a new animal services building. And that's something that's been designed for a long time. And we did open bids. And so last night we accepted the bid to build that on the bypass over near where New Lease on Life is, and McAteer's veterinarian clinic over there. So this is going to be the LPD Animal Services and Codes building.
Does the city own that property?
Yeah, we do. We've bought it.
Okay.
And so it's the LPD Animal Services and Codes building. So the Codes Department, their offices will be there as well. So out there, and so anyway, so last night the council voted to accept that bid. It is for $3.5 million to build it. We thought the estimates on it were $4.5 million, so the bid came in $1 million less than what we anticipated. And Tim Stockton, he won that bid. He's a local contractor. So we're looking forward to that getting started. They'll probably have the pre-construction meeting sometime in October, and then Tim, they can start building anytime after that. So that's something we're excited about. It's something LPD has needed for a long time, and really where the building is now is behind the headquarters out here. But getting out there, this is really designed and set up for animal services. And the thing that we're really excited about is that, this provides an opportunity for people to come there and actually adopt some of the dogs that come in, where now that's really not possible. And so and we feel like being there close to New Lease on Life and McAteer Veterinarian, it's really a good area for us to be in. It's near to the dog park, so this will be a pretty building. There'll be a nice building. It's redesigned and set up to operate more effectively than we do now.
How long, the time frame we're talking about here? I don't know how big a building you're building, but they go up pretty fast sometimes.
Yeah, and I don't know how long it's going to be. Now, in the bid process, they give a estimate of time frame, and obviously builders are going to give themselves more time than maybe it's going to take just to give themselves some leverage there. But it's probably going to take a year and a half probably to get it finished. And but we're looking forward to it. And it's something we needed for a long time.
What was there any dissenting votes? Was everybody on page with that one?
Everybody was, and they have been through the entire process. This is something where the council has looked at the plans, in work sessions. Everybody's been for it from day one as far as all the votes to go through it. And so, again, this is something I think is going to be a real benefit to us.
All right. That was one of several items, I guess, last night.
Yeah, it was, and I think the other one that's important for people to know is last night we did vote to advertise bids to rework the park area just off the square over in the northwest corner, and so Coleman, that's something we've talked about too. Mm-hmm. Whereas on the square there are a lot of people walking around now. There's a lot of restaurants but there's really not much green space that's accessible and usable. And the green space that we have is that northwest corner. And so we're really looking at a way to redesign that to give people an opportunity to get in there, to sit, maybe have tables where you can eat, and for kids to get in there and have some activities. And also set up an area where we can put a stage because, there are a lot of activities on the square that involve a stage, Rock the Block, for example. Mm. And what happens is when we set that up, we have to take up that parking all day long. And so with this, though, we can set a stage up without taking up any parking. And it's something that's going to work out well for the square operationally, but also provide nice space for people to go and sit and relax. And so last night, the council did a vote to approve for us to put that out to bid, the construction. The design's been done. We had a work session about that, and everybody seemed happy with it. So moving forward, we'll have that bid opening, see what that cost, and then we'll move on from there.
Okay, we're going to take a break right here. Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell is my guest here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, get a battery installed in most vehicles. $199.95. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We're still dealing with a little bit of fog out here in certain areas. Here's what we're seeing: heavier traffic volume on 65 southbound and through Millersville. That's been slow on and off up there, coming in from Robertson County through that stretch of Sumner County. Heavy now 65 south at Trinity Lane. It's also picked up through the Mount Juliet area, right on schedule with that heavy traffic volume westbound I-40 headed on into Donaldson. Hey, when you need dependable towing for your car, truck, no matter what county you're in, call STR Towing and Recovery here in Middle Tennessee. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is in a new location, 1746 West Main in Lebanon, across from Sports Village. Gregory Dental Group offers cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs.
No insurance? No problem. Call about the discount plan. Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322.
We continue here our final segment for a Wednesday. Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell is here. We interrupt our off-the-air conversation to get back to your being here. But anything else? This thing with the land there we're talking about from the parking lot of the square over to Burger King, where the Nettie Jacobs cabin is, and a green space that's there, and close to the creek, really, which is under the building there.
It is, and so for a little history, of course, there's a spring there, and that's the reason Nettie moved into that area. That's why Lebanon is located where it is, because that spring comes up out of the ground. And
and it's still water.
It's still flowing, and there's a gate over it. You can't get to it, but it's back there, and but it's actually under the parking lot. So if you go to the area we're talking about in front of the cabin, and where the handicap parking is, there's a spot there that has some lines over it where you cannot park. The spring is directly under that section that has the stripes over it.
Okay.
We've had it surveyed. And one of the things I also want to do is put a marker in that pavement to mark the spot of the spring. And so one of the things we were talking about off air was, the cabin, and I've talked to Fiddler's Grove about taking that cabin, and we're going to talk to the family that originally donated about if they would like it, but the cabin will be moved if this construction goes forward, and that really will open up the area for people to use it more. I think the square right now is very dynamic. There's a lot of people down there all the time, and I do think this adds another amenity to the square that provides people a place to go, a place to sit, a place maybe to go to one of the restaurants or something, get some food and eat outside. So I think it'll be a great addition to the square once we get it done.
Has there been any opposition really at all?
It hasn't.
Maybe some questions.
There's been questions about it, and most of the questions about the cabin really, and about where it's going to go and things like that. But I think a lot of people really realize that the square is different now. It's a place that, again, a lot of people are there, and again, this will add another amenity that families can use and really create a green space there that we really don't have now. That's very accessible.
Well, as trying to look at this from a practical standpoint, as busy as the square area is, and I just can't believe there's that many tourists that want to come and see the cabin over there. Fiddler's Grove is more of a tourist destination, I would think.
I think so. I think so. And, Coleman, I'm the city historian. I want to protect our history more than anybody does. But
you're the historian.
But that cabin, when it was put up, it came from the Leeville area, and it's representative of Nettie, but it's not really Nettie's cabin.
Right.
Now we were talking over the break that I know someone who says they know where Nettie's actual cabin is, and it's in Fiddler's Grove right now under another name. But it's our history is important, and we still honor that history. But I just feel like that area there, and the council has agreed that needs to be an area where people can really, hang out at another feature square and create our own history a little bit.
Well, this would perhaps enhance. I don't know whether business on the square needs much enhancing right now, but it's a busy place.
It is, but we can always do things to help. Last time I was out here, Coleman, we talked about the agreement with First Baptist for parking over there, and there's always things we could do because the historic downtown is a very important part of our city. That's the core of who we are. It's a place that needs to be protected. It needs to be a place where people can have access to it, and obviously people drive there, people park there, but this provides people another access to that area and really adds something. And I've been to other cities and seen downtown parks, and it's not a big space, but I think it could be a very attractive space.
All right. What else from last night's meeting? And that's pretty much
it. The agenda was relatively short last night, but there are some things that's happened that I would like to talk about.
Okay.
Last week, we did have our grand opening of our sports complex, and I did hear you tell the two Zachs that you forgot to come. So
I was working out in the yard. I mean, I was sweaty and hot, and yes, I forgot all about it.
Well, you missed out, Coleman.
I'm sorry.
We had a football game. We had soccer games. T-Rack was there. Tempo the Coyote from National Sports Soccer Club was there, and it was a big crowd. And I really appreciate everybody coming out to that. We're thrilled that it's opened this phase one, and I just want to say, Coleman, I cannot thank the city employees enough for helping get that across the finish line, and there's a lot of them that worked hard to make that happen.
Is there really a lot of enthusiasm from those who were there, especially, and for those who are going to be able to participate in a new area?
There is. There's a lot. The people who were out there that night, I think they had a great time being part of the opening ceremonies. I appreciate the parents and the grandparents bringing their kids out on a weeknight to do that. But for the families of youth and for the youth and those volunteers, those organizations, everyone who's talked to me, they're very happy. The fields are high quality. We've had people who've come there from other cities and talked about how much better they are than what they have.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's so much better than what we had at the airport site. That worked. It was needed for a long time, but we really needed something else, and I just appreciate the council agreeing to do it. And we're going to move on to phase 2. We're going to start working on baseball and softball.
Do you have any idea about a completion date for phase 2?
We're going to start on it as quick as we can, Coleman. I will tell you this: there's a piece of property out there south of the complex that we're talking about maybe trying to purchase to get some additional property. Once we get that ironed out, whether we get it or not, then we're going to start design. We'll take it to council to start the design phase. And, baseball and softball, we're still going to use Baird Park. That's really important. But we need more. We really do.
One thing, just since I wasn't there, what about parking? Is there ample parking? Was that considered early on, and you're satisfied with that?
It was, and people have asked about that. And the parking is was designed to be as part of the sports complex. And I can tell you, Coleman, when I was a kid, we traveled to sports complexes all over the country, and we always had a hunt for a place to park, But we have the parking there now. We have added a gravel parking lot as well that will eventually be paved. And then as we build the phase 2, there'll be more parking added to that section as well. So that's something that's it's in our minds, and also a lot of that has to do with scheduling too. Over at the airport with no lights, all the games are played in one day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's tough with the lights, with these fields and the way they're built. Games can be spread out through the week, and a lot of that has to do with scheduling too. And so we feel like we're in a good position.
All right, I guess moving on. What else you got to talk about?
Well, there are a couple of things. Last week I had the chance to go meet with the new commissioner of TDOT, Will Reed. He invited the mayor's caucus, which is made up of Middle Tennessee mayors, to come to his office and talk to him. He has worked at TDOT for a while, and he's been moved up to commissioner. And so he just wanted to talk to us sort of about his plans and his goals. There were a lot of questions asked about the future of road infrastructure in this area. One of the things that I've talked about before, and people I'm sure would like to hear again, is that TDOT has committed over $100 million inside the city limits of Lebanon as far as road construction, and we're thrilled with that. We're very appreciative of it. Part of that is being built right now out there in your part of town with Hartsville Pike, and another part of it is the widening of 40 all the way to Sparta Pike. So it'll be widened all the way to the end of the city limits, and so we're very appreciative of that. But it was very informative. I was glad to be in the room with him and hear what his vision was for TDOT. And again, he's been there for a long time, so he knows how it works and what we need.
Well, are there changes from what had been planned by his predecessor?
It's mostly the same. I think there'll be the real changes are organizational. His goal really was talk about how to make their operations more efficient as far as getting projects out and working with cities about what we need. But ultimately, it's the same staff that he just wants to run it more efficiently. And again, he's been there for a long time, so he probably knows the ins and outs of what needs to be done. And so that was a really good meeting, and I appreciate him doing that. And then this afternoon, Coleman, at the Pheasant House, I will be down there ringing the bell for Constitution Day. So today's the Constitution Day. It was signed back in 1787 on this date, and so the local chapter of Daughters American Revolution, the Margaret Gaston chapter, every year I do a proclamation, and they have a ceremony, and we ring the bell in honor of the Constitution, and that'll happen this afternoon. So if anyone wants to come out on a beautiful day and take part and honor our history, that's the place to do it.
I believe it was President who eventually became President, James Monroe, had a lot to do, or James Madison.
James Madison. Yeah, James Madison.
The fourth president had a lot to do with the Constitution.
He did. And I will tell you this, Coleman, George Washington, he chaired that meeting, and they disagreed so much at some point he threatened to lock the door and not let them leave till they figured it out.
Some things never change.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, you and I never get through. I mean, there's still plenty of things we could talk about, but as we say, that clock on the wall says we got to hush. So
all right,
thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you next time. 11
right.
Mayor Rick Bell. That does it for Wednesday, and I hope you'll join us tomorrow for the Thursday edition. And until tomorrow, I wish you a wonderful day.